One fateful day, a call shattered my world. My husband had been in an accident. The shock wasn't just from the crash, but the revelation that his mistress was in the car with him. Tragically, she didn't survive, and he was left paralyzed from the waist down. Amidst the chaos, his demands for my lifelong care began. Was I to dedicate myself to a man who betrayed me so profoundly? This couldn't be reality. I vowed to show him the depth of my resolve. My name is Mandy, aged 32. I reside with my husband, Ray, and our nearly 5-year-old daughter, Lily. Though I had paused my career for motherhood, I returned to work when Lily began daycare. Juggling work and parenthood fills my days, yet I find fulfillment, all thanks to Ray. My husband, Ray, epitomizes dedication both in his work and in nurturing our daughter, Lily. As the cornerstone of our family, he consistently strives to excel in his roles as husband, father, and provider. Our evenings follow a cherished ritual, dinner together, followed by Lily's animated tales of her day at daycare, eagerly shared with Ray. "Daddy, look what I made today." "Wow, Lily, that's impressive. You have such talent. Maybe you could draw me next time." "Okay, Daddy." "Oh, and Mary's family went to the amusement park. Can we go too?" "An amusement park adventure sounds perfect. How about we plan a family trip next weekend?" "Really? Yay, I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, Lily. Well, after your mom, of course." Ray would always wink at me, and Lily would playfully puff her cheeks in mock annoyance. These ordinary moments with my family are the treasures I hold most dear. But when did Ray start to change? His late nights at work and early departures on days off became a troubling pattern. Initially, I brushed it off as coincidence, but as the odd behavior persisted, I couldn't ignore my growing concern. So, I decided it was time to confront him. "Ray, you've been coming home late quite often lately. Is everything okay at work?" "Ha. Oh yeah, I've got some new projects and stuff." "I see, but you also leave early in the morning on your days off, and you never tell me where you're going." "That's well, I've been visiting my parents. I thought I should check up on them from time to time." "Your parents' house?" "To be honest, my in-laws aren't young, but we see them once every few months, and they're doing fine. So why all these sudden visits?" Although suspicion pricked at me, I didn't want to push too hard, so I let it go for the time being. 2 weeks later, Ray texted me once more, saying, "I'll be home late. I have overtime work to do." It wasn't until after midnight that he finally walked through the door, seemingly in high spirits. Yet something felt amiss about him, and I sensed it instantly. "Ray, where have you been?" "I told you, I had to work late, didn't I?" "But what about that smell?" "What smell?" "The scent of sweet perfume. It's unmistakably a woman's fragrance." "Why would you smell like that if you were working late?" "That's—" My husband's eyes darted about, betraying his obvious unease. As I persisted, he hastily interjected. Actually, there was a client entertainment event today." "A client event?" I scrutinized his response, prompting a vigorous nod from my husband. "You see, one of the VIPs at the client's place is a woman. You'd expect some perfume to rub off if we were drinking together, right? Then why lie to me in the first place? There was no need to fabricate overtime. I felt guilty because you were working hard at home, taking care of housework and Lily. I didn't mean to lie. I didn't want to make you worry." Seeing my husband's hands clasped in front of his face, I couldn't press him any further. With work looming the next day, I opted to table the conversation and retire to bed. Yet from that moment on, every late return was accompanied by the lingering scent of that perfume. Each inquiry yielded the same response. Another client event, nothing more. Unbeknownst to him, my suspicions only deepened. Then, one day, a palpable sense of unease compelled me to leave Lily with my parents and meet my younger sister. As we settled in at a cafe, I broached the subject of my husband's behavior. "Ray has been coming home late a lot recently." "So he always has the scent of a woman's perfume, huh?" "Yeah, he's definitely cheating." "Really?" My sister's solemn nod solidified my suspicion. Though I had harbored doubts, hearing it confirmed by someone else lent weight to my fears. So Ray is really cheating on me. Firstly, it's odd to have client events with the same client so frequently. And besides, he must have been close enough for the perfume to linger, right? "I suppose. I understand it's challenging with Lily and everything, but I think you need to have a serious conversation with Ray." "Yeah." Just then, my sister's voice took on a disturbing edge. Hey, look there." "What's going on?"
"Speak of the devil. Look over there. Isn't that your husband?" Following her pointed finger, I spotted Ray. Beside him, a younger woman than me clung tightly to his arm. The sight left me speechless, the cruelty of it all overwhelming. Disregarding my shock, my sister wasted no time and began snapping pictures with her smartphone. Wait, what are you doing? Why are you just standing there, sis? We need evidence. But, no excuses. Quickly, I'll take photos. You start recording a video. Urged on by my sister, I fumbled to activate the camera app on my smartphone. Ray and the woman intertwined, sharing multiple kisses before they climbed into Ray's car together. With trembling hands, I captured every damning moment. I halted the recording as their car vanished into the distance. Here I sat, Ray's wife, clutching evidence of his betrayal. The tears streamed down my cheeks, forgotten in the midst of our surroundings at the cafe. My sister remained silent for a beat before she seized my hand, her grip firm as she spoke. Sis, I know it's tough, but you really need to confront Ray. I understand, but this is about Lily too. Can we stand by and allow such a deceitful and unfaithful man to remain her father? For Lily's sake. At her words, reality crashed back in. That's right, the only one who can protect Lily is me. Ray may be Lily's beloved father, but I must address this sooner rather than later. Now that I know the truth, he forfeits his right to be a father. After conferring with my sister, we arranged for Lily to spend the day at her parents' house. Returning home, I awaited my husband's arrival, but the hours passed without his return. Around 10 p.m., our seldom-used landline rang. Who could be calling at this hour? I wondered aloud as I answered. A man's voice on the other end inquired, Is this Mrs. Johnson's residence? Yes, it is. Who's calling? This is the police. Is this the home of Mr. Ray Johnson? Yes, it is. Is everything all right? Did something happen involving my husband? Please try to stay calm. Your husband has been in an accident. What? According to the police, my husband had been involved in a car accident, and tragically, a woman who was in the passenger seat had lost her life. My husband had been taken to the nearby university hospital. Without a second thought, I rushed to the hospital. Upon arrival, I found my husband undergoing emergency surgery in the trauma unit. A police officer hurriedly entered, offering an explanation of the accident's circumstances. From what we've gathered, it seems your husband and the deceased woman were in a close relationship. Indeed. Observing your stunned reaction, the police officer inquired with a concerned countenance, Did you harbor any suspicions, madam? Yes, only today I was on the brink of confronting him with evidence of his extramarital affair. I understand. Regrettably, it must be conveyed that there is a potential for your husband to suffer from disabilities as a consequence of the accident's aftermath. That will suffice, no more. Subsequent discussions with law enforcement unveiled that the woman involved in the accident, my husband's paramour, was also wedded. The mistress's spouse, who had hastened to the scene, appeared deeply bewildered, his countenance portraying a mixture of emotions, particularly given that only Ray had survived. Several days later, my husband, having completed his surgical procedure, finally regained consciousness following the accident. Upon receiving this update, I, accompanied by my parents, sister, and daughter, made way to the hospital premises. I entrusted Lily to my sister's care, leaving only my parents and me to enter the hospital room. Upon arrival, we found my in-laws already present. As we were briefed, it appeared that my husband had been left with paralysis on one side of his body as a result of the accident. I'm sorry, it seems I've caused you all a great deal of concern, my husband began, visibly remorseful. Before I could respond, my in-laws hurried to his bedside. Why apologize? The fact that you're still with us is what matters most. It's a blessing to be alive, my father-in-law reassured him. Absolutely, Ray. You're a good man, and that's why you're here today, my mother-in-law chimed in. Mom, Dad, thank you. I'm just grateful to be alive, my husband expressed, his voice filled with gratitude. My husband and in-laws seemed to be brushing aside the affair as if it never happened. My worry morphed into anger, and I finally found my voice. Sorry to interrupt your celebration, but Ray, will you divorce me? What? I have these divorce papers. Can you please sign them? Divorce? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? All of a sudden, you had an accident with your mistress. What are you even saying? No, you've misunderstood. The woman in the car with me was just a business associate, not a mistress. My husband's desperate attempts to lie only fueled my frustration. Did he truly believe he could keep it hidden from me? Are you going to pretend now? I know you cheated, Ray. No, I swear I didn't cheat. You were with your mistress at a cafe on the day of the accident, weren't you? I saw you both leave together. No, it's not. Don't try to make excuses. I momentarily forgot our surroundings in the hospital room and raised my voice. You even sacrificed time with Lily to be with your mistress. What were you thinking? My mother-in-law interrupted me with a disapproving frown. Oh, Mandy, why are you so upset? If Ray cheated, it's probably because you did something wrong. Mother-in-law, what are you saying? Ray just woke up, didn't he? And you heard it from the doctor, didn't you? Ray has ended up with hemiplegia due to the aftermath. What does that have to do with our divorce? He needs dedicated care now. Instead of talking about divorce, you should be focusing on learning how to care for him immediately. That's right, my husband echoed his mother. You'll be taking care of me from now on as my wife. That's when it hit me. Any lingering sympathy I harbored for my husband vanished in an instant. Initially, I felt genuine pity for him after the accident, despite his infidelity. But now, I couldn't care less. There was not a shred of remorse in either of them for what they put me through. All they cared about was themselves. Suppressing my fury, I turned to my mother-in-law. Are you serious? Who in their right mind would want to take care of a cheating fool? A fool? Mandy, how dare you insult my Ray? Well, it's the truth, isn't it? He cheated and caused the accident. Isn't everything your son's fault? But even if the accident was his fault, cheating doesn't excuse his actions. So, if I made a mistake, does that give him the right to cheat? I've been juggling work, childcare, and household duties to support our family. You blame me and still defend your cheating son. Well, my unusually assertive tone caused my mother-in-law's voice to gradually soften. Unable to remain silent, my husband interjected angrily. How dare you speak to my mom like that? Perhaps thinking his status as a patient gave him an edge, my husband shot me a defiant glare. I stepped closer, my gaze piercing, and he muttered, "What the?" in a startled tone. Enough with the act. Who do you think is to blame for the predicament we're in? Well, you see, we're in this mess because you shattered our family with your affair, right? Getting into an accident with your mistress, how foolish can you be? There's no other word for it. What the? It's chaotic now because you brought up divorce out of nowhere. He still appears oblivious to his own culpability in this situation. Fueled by a deep sense of disgust and bitterness, I unleashed my pent-up fury upon him. Face reality, you pathetic excuse for a man. How much longer will you deflect blame onto others? Reflect on your own actions. You're the one who cheated, and to top it off, your mistress perished in that accident. Stop trying to justify yourself. Mandy. You obliterated our family with your reckless affair. I dread to think of the pain Lily will endure because of you. You haven't just wounded me, you've shattered our daughter's innocence. I can't remain married to someone like you. Go ahead and wallow in your own misery. As I turned to leave, Ray was rendered speechless, his complexion drained of color. Taking a moment to compose myself, I heard the hospital room door creak open, and in walked our daughter. Lily, how did? I'm sorry, sis. I only looked away for a second. My younger sister entered behind Lily, offering an apologetic bow. Ray seized the chance to address our daughter. Lily, you wouldn't want, right? Daddy, what do you mean? You don't want Mommy and Daddy to be apart, do you? Ray was left speechless by Lily's response. What? But if Mommy's here, you're okay? Because Mommy looks sad when she's with Daddy. It's because Daddy's doing something that Mommy hates, right? Well, you see, I hate it when Daddy makes Mommy sad. I don't need a daddy. I'm fine with just Mommy. Ray seemed taken aback by Lily's words. With nothing more to say, he sank onto the bed, his shoulders sagging. When I pushed the divorce papers toward him again, he relented and signed them. I then enlisted the help of a lawyer and pursued alimony and child support, supported by evidence of his infidelity. Additionally, he was informed about the damages sought by the husband of his mistress, resulting in a substantial financial settlement. His affair with a subordinate at work came to light, resulting in his termination. This isn't just about infidelity, it's a consequence of his actions that led to a tragic loss of life. It's a form of poetic justice. The financial repercussions hit Ray hard, draining his savings and forcing him to downsize to a modest apartment with his in-laws after selling their house. I heard that his in-laws are now caring for their son, who is confined to a wheelchair. As for me, I've chosen to stay at my parents' home for the time being with Lily. Once we're settled, I intend to live independently with Lily again. However, we believed it would be beneficial for Lily's well-being to spend some time surrounded by family. On our way to daycare, I broached the topic that had been weighing on my mind. "Hey Lily, are you truly okay?" "Ha! What do you mean? With Daddy not being here, is it okay with just Mommy and you?" In response, Lily beamed and replied enthusiastically, "I love Mommy the most. I don't like anyone who makes Mommy sad." "I understand. Mommy loves Lily very much." Lily enveloped me in a tight hug, and I held her close, feeling a renewed determination to protect her for as long as I live.